Doctors performed Nebraska's first ever liver transplant in 1984. Now, 33 years later, the little girl who received that liver is all grown up. And that's just part of the story. 3 News Now reporter Lindsay Thies explains how her family continues the gift of life.
That ripple effect.
More than 30 years ago, these parents gave a big gift to this woman after their son died. Now her husband is paying it forward.
I mean, what Matthew's gift meant to us, I mean, obviously this is 30 years later, what it still meant to us.
33 years ago, Matthew Bemis, just 2 years old, tragically drowned. His parents, Janet and Milt, made the decision to donate his organs.
It was kind of new at that time, and we can remember the moment we asked the doctor and nurse if we could donate, and even they looked at each other and said, I don't know, we'll have to check.
The Bemises say they then found out through a news story on KMTV about a very sick little girl at UCLA in California.
A Tucson, Arizona child is going through the first day of her life with a new and healthy liver.
Everyone knew and loved Matthew.
Now we can report that her new liver came from 2-year-old Matthew Bemis of Rising City, Nebraska.
KMTV called, and they were the ones that realized that the little girl from Tucson at UCLA was going to be the recipient of Matthew's liver.
Matthew's liver saved then 12-month-old Lily Mandel. She was dying from a massive liver tumor. Fast forward, over the next several years, Lily and the Bemises met, traveling, spreading their story of organ donation. In 2008, Lily married Brian Allen. And this year, June 2017, Brian thought about that ripple effect that started so many years ago.
It didn't matter to me who. I wanted to give someone the chance to have the same opportunities as we've had.
Brian, a living donor, gave part of his liver. He got the chance to meet the recipient this summer.
His name is Dwayne. He actually turned 50 shortly after he received his liver, so that was said it was a pretty important birthday party for him.
There's guilt that's associated with waiting. You know, you're hoping for someone to pass so that you can live, and that's horrendous. And he wanted it to be one less person that had to feel that guilt.
And as for Matthew Bemis' parents, their son's legacy, the ripples of giving that he started, carries on.
I think he'd be really proud.
Such a touching story. Nebraska Medicine can perform living kidney and liver donation transplants. Today, the number of living organ donors is more than 6,000 a year, and 1 in 4 of those donors is not related to the recipient. If you take the time to stop and look, you'll notice there are quite a few special guests flying through Omaha right now. Monarch butterflies are making their 1,800-mile trek to Mexico for the winter. Kindergarten and preschool students with the Henry Dorley Zoo's Education Department got a chance to help track their journey by tagging butterflies this week. Zoo officials say it's an important step to ensuring their survival.
They are the longest migrators for their size. So monarchs being an insect, they migrate all the way down from Canada into Mexico. They are a primary pollinator species, so it's very important that we keep them around. We want to make sure that we keep an idea on their population sizes.
Love that little guy, so serious with his net. The zoo has already tagged more than 70 monarchs through its Family Zoo Adventure program. Many artists hope for recognition for their work, but what if fame came in a different form? The internet meme kind of attention. One Omaha jewelry designer found out what it's like when a meme takes on a life of its own and leaves the subject feeling helpless. Omaha World-Herald visual journalist Chris Makian has her story.
My name is Elizabeth Percival, and I am self-employed as a silversmith, and I work from my studio in my home. Describe my work. I primarily work in sterling silver, and I use a lot of semi-precious gemstones. And maybe minimalist. I like things to be not too complicated and easy to wear a lot of the time. I didn't discover it myself. A friend, Mary, saw it online and she said, I think this is you. What's going on here? And I saw it, and it was a picture I'd taken of myself in 2009 for a series of pictures I posted on Flickr. And so it's an ancient picture in my mind that I hadn't thought about for many years, and it's just really strange that somebody would have found it and decided they had to create a meme from it, because it's the most, I don't know, it's a silly picture where I had bedhead and was drinking out of a coffee mug, and I had just woken up, and I never would have thought of that picture again, but somebody did. Knew each other, and we started doing these things on Thursday called Self-Portrait Thursdays. And we try to make interesting photos, and we'd connect with each other over them. And I decided to just go for it and do a self-portrait every day for a year as a project, kind of like as a personal diary. The meme says she's a feminist, then there's my face, and then it says splits the check. And I didn't really get it, because if you know the internet, you know that sometimes the internet can be mean. So I think I defaulted to the fact that, like, is the internet making fun of me? Is somebody taking this old picture of my bedhead, and what are they saying? And I didn't even get it. And I posted it to Facebook. I was like, hey guys, this weird thing happened. And that's when somebody must have done a Google search or something like that. And he said, oh, there are other ones, and you have a name. And like, I was referred to as Cool Girl Callie, which is just so silly. Likes the band before they were cool, now loves the band. Something about like a socially awkward penguin. I don't know, like, ultimately they were all things that indicated I was really nice. I gather Cool Girl Callie from that meme isn't like very judgy, but if we're gonna go as basic as possible and like say, am I nice? Yeah, sure, I'm nice. But it's not really my style to use memes. Thanks for giving me like 0.2 seconds of like a novel little sort of random thing to talk about with my friends, and then thanks for not being a jerk.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? She has a great attitude about it. Photos from her 365-day project have turned up on sites like the Huffington Post over the years. She continues to focus on her jewelry business, Elizabeth Space Jewelry. You can find her work on Amazon and Etsy. For most teens, high school sports are a fun way to be a part of a team. But what happens when college scouts start taking notice? One Nebraska teen is already getting letters from across the country, and she just started her sophomore year. How she's handling the sometimes overwhelming recruiting process. When Omaha Sunday Morning continues.